Coach, how are you doing? We are live now. This is going to be AKA podcast episode, I believe, number 8 now.
Wow, that long?
That long. That long.
No subscribers. Come on, guys. What the hell?
We are here at this channel, not the old channel, but this
Not the
channel. I
old
know it's a
channel,
little
this channel.
confusing. The other one is for
Yeah.
beginners. This is the one.
This is the one. Hey, listen, did you see the one thing on the commission guy from Connecticut wants to prevent a judge that's working on one event to go to another event?
Yes, back to back.
Yeah, back to back. He's looking at the practices of doing back to back, and my first thing on my mind was like, okay, but if this judge is a great judge and he knows what he's doing, like you're acting like it's real strenuous on there. I mean, I don't understand the logic. Is because it's too much work for them.
I think that's what they're saying. It's too much of a mental toll, or it's kind of clouding their judgment. But you got to keep in mind, this is only happening with a handful of judges. And I think it's one of those examples that unfortunately it only takes one to mess it up for everybody.
A bad judge is a bad judge. You can give him all the rest you want. He's still a bad judge.
Yep. And that happened to be when the Bellator event that he reffed, a certain judge reffed, and then the UFC event the following day where that ref in question had some bad scoring, I should say, in several events.
Well, it should be individualized. It should be based on how they're scoring, not how they're working. It's like, not like, I mean, that just makes zero sense to me how you're overworked, you're over mentally worked. Oh, you work how many fights and you're overworked? Really? Oh, wow. Okay. I know, like, man, let these guys make their money. The ones that are good and they get asked to go from one state to another, let them make their money. Don't stop them. It's not like they make a lot of money. They're making anywhere from 500 to 800 to 1,600 a show. Depends on how high level of the show, right? So it isn't like they're making a ton of money either. So I don't know. I just think it's not the correct way. I think maybe educate them more. They are government workers, so maybe have some kind of program in place where and then you weed them out.
Exactly.
Get the good judges, get the bad judges. I mean, there's some judges out there that hit it on the nail almost every single time. That's my opinion, anyways.
No problems. If they're getting questionable calls, like you said, give them some refresher courses, and based on that, if they're still happening, then take further steps. I agree.
Yeah.
Like so, these are their livelihoods. You're taking money from their pockets, money to feed their family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Unfortunately, it's one of those where one person ruins it for everybody.
Yeah. What did you think about that Deion Clark, the guy that was born with no legs, fighting his first MMA fight and winning?
I didn't see it, but I heard he won, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. How do you fight a guy that's got no legs? He's super athletic. And what are the rules? I mean, I didn't see the fight, but I'm just telling myself, he won. I mean, how are you standing with the guy, and the guy's like goes up to your groin area and you got to fight him. I don't. Who's gonna fight him? Who's gonna want to fight him? And second of all, it's like I've seen the guy. He's extremely athletic, very, and look, it's been proven before. You watch these guys that wrestle, right? One-legged guys that wrestle. What the guy from Arizona State, Robles, was Anthony Robles?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. Look how great he did. So you can't discount the fact that they can't do well, because they definitely can and they definitely have. But again, if you're the person fighting them, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you fight someone like that? First of all, it's the mental thing of putting yourself up there to do it. Second of all, you're losing to a guy that's like that. It's not an easy thing for most people to accept.
No.
And then it's the spectacle. Do you want to watch someone fight like that? I don't know if I would, but then again, realistically, is it fair for him just because he was born this way not to be able to compete? No, it's not.
No, definitely not.
So it's big giant applause to him for putting himself out there. And let's be honest, he's at a huge disadvantage, and then he's got some advantages. But obviously, if he had legs and to sprint, that he would have a bigger advantage because he's super athletic. But
One hell of an athlete.
yeah, he's one hell of an athlete either way, right? But one hell of an athlete with both legs under him, I think, would be a lot more dangerous than the way he went out and competed. But he won nevertheless. I didn't see the fight, but I said big applause to him for just even getting in there, and doing what he did. That's amazing.
What promotion?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll definitely watch it. It just slipped my mind on that one.
A Gladiator Challenge, Season Speed.
I'm wondering if there's any.
And it took place in San Diego.
Was there any restrictions or any rule modifications for this fight?
Don't know.
Hats off to him either way.
Yeah, no, it's a big accomplishment for him. Did you see the UFC? What bouts did you watch?
I watched all of the main card. So his fight went all 3 rounds, unanimous decision.
Yeah, I just watched the Zion Clark. It was weird. It was weird because the guy has to get down to his level. I mean, I don't know. There must have been special rules because realistically, you would think, okay, I'm just going to stay at distance and kick him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then for him, he's on both his hands. How's he going to punch?
That's a tough one.
That's an amazing thing that he did, But anyways, it is what it is. So
UFC Fight Night. I watched all the main card. What about you, Coach?
No, I watched the one. The one I really liked was Drew Dober and Bobby Green.
Wow, what a fight!
That was one of those fights where, like Bobby Green, right? He fights with his hands down, right?
Yes.
And he was getting Drew Dober was getting the right instructions from his corner, telling him basically try to go to the body, get him up against the cage, and that's what you want to deliver, not the first, the second, the third. They wanted him to counter the counter. Yeah. So basically, he got perfect advice, and they were going back and forth, and you saw Bobby Green just too quick, too accurate, too fast, and just landing one technique after another technique and not getting hit because he had room to move.
Right.
But when he got up against the cage, Drew got him against the cage, there was no more backing up, and he stood in the pocket, too long, and then he got caught with the third or fourth shot, and it was a devastating shot Drew hit him with. And Drew Dober has good power, really good power. So he took him out, and it was a fun fight. It was a fun fight. But it just goes to show you, when you fight the way Bobby Green fights, fantastic. Not many people can pull it off, number one. Number two, he should have been in critical mode when he was up against the cage. He should have been in desperate mode to get out, but he wasn't. He stayed there comfortably, and he shouldn't have.
He was comfortable. Usually you circle out, but he was just comfortable and still shooting from the hip. Yeah.
That's a dangerous spot to be in because you don't have you take out a lot of your movement on avoiding the punches, and that's what he did. He took a lot of his movement away, and who knows? Maybe his corner was telling him to get out. I didn't hear it. Did you hear it? I didn't hear anything about get out of the corner, get out
there. He just felt comfortable, and then he was landing those beautiful teep kicks too to the stomach. So I mean, he was causing he inflicted a lot of damage on Dober.
Yeah. He was piecing him up pretty good. It was a very fun fight.
And then Dober, I think his corner just told him, "Hey, you got to come in. You got to come in with more combinations, and one of them's going to land."
Well, it was talking about counter the counter.
Yeah,
strike first, wait for the counter, and counter that counter, and that's what he did. He listened to his corner really well, and what else are you going to do? You can't ask for anything more.
and he just
And then what
lost
about
power in his
the
hands.
bloodiest one? One of the most gruesome ones I've seen. You know, the Rafael Garcia versus the Chinese guy from China.
What do you think about that one?
I thought, you know, Rafa Garcia, he fought right fight. You know, he went and pressured him, and took him down. That's where he was going to dominate, and that's what he did. But you know, he just proved that, you know, nothing was going to deter him from winning that fight, even though they said he lost about 20% of his blood.
Jeez.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? 20% of his blood that they said he lost, you know. It opened an artery, I guess, you know. So, wow. You know, that's pretty amazing. He was able to perform like that after going through all that, not freaking out. You know, so, you know, I'm sure if they didn't get that thing stitched up, he'd be done.
Yeah,
you know,
but out so quick.
It was a gruesome fight, you know. Yeah, but you know, it wasn't really a fun fight because I don't really like all that blood, you know. So I can't say it was a fun fight. I just say it was a gruesome fight, and determination. You know, Rafa won because he was determined, you know, and he didn't get deterred by all that blood. And you know, his opponent, for everything he did, he tried to win the whole time through.
Yeah,
you know, didn't quit at all. Not one time did he quit. He kept trying to, you know, get something to happen, you know, and. You could see Rafa was so upset by being cut that he tried to cut him, you know, when he had him on the ground. You see, he was driving right in his elbow, was grinding. He just didn't have enough leverage. But he wanted to cut him up real bad. You know, unfortunately, it didn't happen for him, but he got the win. And, you know, that's all you can expect. And then Alex, was it Rosa?
Alex Casares?
Casares, then he fought.
Rosas, yeah, correct.
Rosas, right? Is it Rosa? Is he Rosa?
Rosa, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. I like that one.
I was dozing off.
Did you?
I dozing off. I was like this, and I wake up to this, whoa! And then I seen him throw where he threw the right hand and follow with the left kick. That was nice.
It was a left. It was a left hand with the left kick following it.
Well, yeah, he's southpaw. You're right. So it was a left jab, and he followed with the lead leg, right?
No, the back leg. So he went left.
Was it back leg?
Yes.
Yeah, it had to be back leg. You're right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just kind of timed it perfect.
Well, made a good crack.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see? It's kind of tough. Rosas, he got up and he was, you know, he just out of it, completely out of it.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens. You know, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. You know, and I guess you know, yeah, but you know, from that fight, you know, where do they go from there?
Yeah.
Just entertaining fights. I don't know where they go from there. You know, what's next after that? The semi-main event.
Yeah, you know? After that one was a semi. What did you think about that one? That was Sarukian versus Ismagulov.
Armin versus
Demir.
Yeah, the other guy. What's the other guy's name again?
Demir. Ismagulov.
Armin versus Demir. That was a very good fight. I thought the Armin fought perfect, and the Demir couldn't handle his grappling as well as he thought he could, and so Armin took it where he needed to take it. It was a fun fight because it was a lot of transitions, you know, back and forth, and a lot of escapes, and a lot of staying to the game plan, and that's what Armin did, and now obviously, you know, he's won a big fight, and the fact that he had fought Islam Makhachev, you know, the best out of anybody so far, that gives him an opportunity. If he keeps climbing, they're going to make that fight a bigger fight down the line.
Yeah,
you know, it'll be years from now, but he can still make it a big fight because he did give him a tough fight. But you know, what I know, people don't know, Islam was really, really sick But forget about that. Let's just leave it alone for that. Let's just take it. It's good for those guys that fight at some point down the line. We'll see what happens. Islam's got to take care of Volkanovski first, and then we'll go from there. And I'm sure that time comes. That time will come.
Say what you say, but Demir was a tough guy to take down. He stuffed a lot of the takedowns, and
no, he did. He did. That's why I'm saying there are a lot of transitions, and there was a lot of chain action reactions type thing, and Arman fought right. He fought a good fight, real good fight, very technical, both of them.
Yeah,
it's just one was just a little stronger in the grappling and was able to deal more with it and stayed more tenacious with the grappling, and that's what ultimately won the fight. He who controls the ground is, where the fight goes is basically who wins the fight usually. And in this case, it was Arman, and he was inflicting the damage, where he needed to.
And apparently these guys were both teammates, and nobody wanted to fight either or, so they took it upon themselves to fight, each other because no one else wanted to fight them.
Well, another thing too, when you're talking about teammates, right? How much of a teammates were they really? Because realistically, when you got ATT, it's like an open house there. They accept so many people that come through. Whereas with me, a lot of people have tried to come through, and I want to let them in because there's a conflict between them and somebody in the gym. Yeah. That could happen where there's issues going on, and regardless of who they are, I don't accept them. Yeah. Because I have to go through the basically the due diligence of talking to all the people that are within that weight group, that particular division, to see if they're okay with it, and and if one person's not okay with it, they can't come in. Whereas I think we might be one of the only ones that do that.
You take a team
and I'll continue to do that because it's not about the money; it's about the knowing that if you've been there and you're a trooper for the gym, then we're going to stick with you no matter what. And even if somebody else comes in that's going to make, big dollars for the gym or the particular individual coaches, it doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is that we stay together. And that's the key. For me, it is anyways. That's why, we'll never have those kind of problems because I won't allow that to happen. Because the way I look at it, if you guys are going to fight, you fight each other when it's for the title. And that's why you can't take too many people either in that same weight category that are going to fight from your gym, because you have a problem. We had that problem long time ago when we had we had 3 fighters in that same weight category. We had basically Mike Swick, Josh Koscheck, and John Fitch. All 3 of them were in that welterweight division. And at that particular time, when you had the 3 of them, then we had Anthony Johnson, Rumble Johnson, when he was fighting at welterweight too. He had come through the doors, and he was not accepted. He got to train with us, but he was not accepted because that would have been 4. It was a little difficult to handle all those. And can you imagine Rumble started at 170? 170, God rest his soul, he was a great guy back then, and up to the end. But anyways, that was one of the problems that happened when you got too many fighters, fighting the same league. It does create problems.
Well, the same thing with DC and Kane. Kane stayed at heavyweight, and DC dropped down to 205.
Yeah, well, DC did that because he didn't want to face Kane, because what he was doing as a heavyweight, he was destroying everybody, and he did that for that reason. He didn't want to fight Kane. So, that just a testament to what I'm talking about. I remember there was a time there too when Habib first came on board with us, and the UFC wanted to match him with Josh Thompson. Josh calls me up and he said, "Hey, Habib's been offered a fight against me." He goes, "No, he can't take the fight against you." "Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you, he got offered a fight against me. And you said," I go, "I know what I said. I will call him." So I called Habib and I say, "Hey, Habib, blah, blah, blah. I heard you got offered." He goes, "Yes, coach." I go, but before I could say anything, Habib goes, "But no, coach, I refuse. We don't fight. We're teammates. We can never fight each other." I said, "Oh, okay." All right. So I didn't have to tell him, the rules. He said, "No, it cannot never accept that fight." And again, that's because, it's the same thing. And think about with Islam, right? Makhachev, and then Usman, he's a champion for Bellator. Islam is a champion for UFC. There's really an unlikelihood that those two guys will ever come on the same league. Islam coming to Bellator or Usman going to UFC, if they're in that position where they have to fight each other. I 100%. I know that will never happen, and it's just the way it is. It's a brotherhood that, as a fight fan, of course you want to see it, but as a brotherhood, that'll never happen.
Is that why all the Dagestanis are kind of strategically placed in different promotions?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yes. Yeah, because there's in this particular case, you're talking about two guys that are the cream of the crop,
Yes.
So you can't. They'll end up fighting each other, or they'll end up having to fight each other, and they both deserve to be champions. So, and Islam was rightful heir to take it over after Habib.
Yeah.
So that was the perfect way. And then Bellator is a hell of an organization. They take care of Usman really well, and they pay him really well. So he's not in a bad situation whatsoever. Not trust me, he's not complaining.
Yeah. Coach, what did you think about the Cannonier versus Strickland fight?
Okay.
I watched it. Hold on. I watched it. I did not like the outcome to the point where I had to rewatch it the next day. I had to take a pause from it and rewatch it again the next day, today.
Okay. I didn't rewatch it. I didn't want to rewatch it. But I'll tell you, there's so many things you could talk about this one. Number one, I thought, honestly, flip a coin, and who was the winner? That's what I thought. I said, Cannonier, could be Strickland. I might have gave it to Strickland, if I had to take a vote on who I really thought won, but the damn rounds were so damn close.
Yeah,
I didn't know who to give it to. One was the aggressor, one was countering, and throughout the whole fight, it was like that. When Cannonier put the pressure on, he apparently did the most. But then when he didn't, the harder shots were Cannonier. The more shots were landed by Strickland.
Yes.
But they were so close every damn round that I can see one judge giving this round to this person, the other person going the opposite, and I can see vice versa. This is one of those ones where it's not the judging criteria that was bad here, because even I was stuck on this one. And I don't know how many people might have judged it. I don't know. If I had to give it to anybody, I guess Strickland. But look at me. I'm saying I guess. It appeared like he got the better. But then the other part is, Cannonier did pretty damn good too.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm one thing for darn sure. This is no like Patty the Batty. It wasn't like that.
No.
There was nothing like that. Nor was it like the main event. That was horrendous. This was typical. Yeah, that's judging was not bad on this one. I can't say it was
a tough one. It was just tough.
This really tough.
Yeah, Strickland was countering well. Nice jabs. He was very fluid and very, very calm. It looked like he was just calm. I don't know. Cannonier, on the other hand, looked like he was struggling a little bit, and was putting more effort.
Well, he landed the harder shots too, and he was the guy. He was the bull in the ring. He was the one pressuring, and so you got to remember, you got to be that guy too. You got to be pressuring. You got to cover the real estate, and he was covering it. He was coming, and Strickland was being more defensive, but then again, I say he was being more defensive, but then when I say that, then I remember he was being offensive too. So Strickland was doing both. It's just. Like I said, if I had to judge and I was on that one, I'd probably favor Strickland.
I would have Strickland as well.
But again, anybody that says they favor someone else, like Cannonier, I'm like, yeah, okay, I give it. It was that close. It was one of those that like if you did a voting on that one, I bet you the vote would be really, really, really close, almost close to 50% both split down the middle. This isn't one of those 5% said that Strickland won. This is one of those 40-something, 50-something% said Strickland won. I guarantee it. If you do a voting poll on that, I guarantee you it's going to be one of those. It isn't going to be a clean breakaway. No way. This is one of those ones where good judges made good decisions. It's just which one did you vote for?
That was it. Both of them fought excellent. It was a great fight.
Yeah.
The FURYFC happened today, but you didn't catch any of the FURYFC, huh?
No, that's where our guys fight, right? Jacoby Smith, and then Nicky.
Yep. So it was Freddie Rodriguez versus Nick Piccinini. That was one hell of a fight, man.
How'd that one go? Was it stand up?
So it was stand up. They were trading back and forth. Nick got caught with the left, and he actually got dropped, but he recovered quickly, went in for the shot. Basically, took Rodriguez down, ground and pounded him, and then he got him in a triangle choke. But it was weird because he was like in 3/4 mount against the cage, and he sunk it in and still got it.
Nice.
Yeah, in the first.
And Jacoby, you said fought a guy that came in like almost 20 pounds over.
He fought some guy named Tommy Britton, and the guy came in at 193.8 when they were originally scheduled to go to 175. So Jacoby actually had to gain weight. He tried to gain weight at the last minute and went up to 184.8. So he was still outweighed by almost 10 pounds. The guy looked massive compared to Jacoby. He was taller than Jacoby, longer, and just heavier. You can see it. And yeah, he just put on one hell of a performance. You know, he opened up with Jacoby threw with a leg kick to start the round. Pretty much got in a double, took him down, grounded and pounded him. The guy turned over, turtled, and just ground and pound. That was it in the first.
Yeah, Jacoby is he's special.
Yes.
You know, Nicky's a grinder, and he keeps getting better and better all the time. You know, so yeah, no, they're very happy for them. You know, good guys. So what are we going to now? This is it, right?
That's pretty much
MMA is done. MMA is done to the new year.
MMA is done for the for this year.
What do we got? The Ryzen versus Bellator.
That's at the end of the month.
That's the end of the month. So that's about it, huh?
Yep. You're not going after all, Coach?
No, I'm here. I have to train Umar. Umar's fighting January 14th, so I'm here for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Short one.
Yep. All right, Coach. Well, thank you for your time once again, and hopefully we will. Well, let's see what we have going on for next week, because I don't think there's anything next week.
Nope. Maybe we'll take next week off,
or maybe we might get a guest.
Yeah, never know. Let's see. All right.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Remember those sponsors, those guys out there.
We still need them. We still need
them. For the few that are watching our podcast, that there's going to be eventually thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. But right now we're starting, we're really like in a snail crawl, right?
We're slowly getting there, though.
Yeah, slowly we'll get there. Time will tell. All right, man.
All right, Coach.
Okay. Out.